Quarterback Club and Coaches Show. We're broadcasting tonight from Salomone's Italian Restaurant and Sports Bar here in Fort Atkinson. Of course, next week we will be in Whitewater at the Second Salem Brewing Company, located the old Novak's building. I guess would be about the best way to describe it if people are wondering where that is. And then 2 weeks from tonight we'll be at 841 Brewing Company and Sports Bar, the old Randy's, on the east side of Whitewater. And then on Tuesday, the 22nd, we'll be at Sax's on Highway 12, just north of Whitewater. Before we get to our special guest this evening, we want to remind you to catch the big game and cheer on your favorite team at Salvo's County Grill in Whitewater. Don't go hungry either. Ask for Salvo's Touchdown Burger Meal, featuring a half pound of hand-patted fresh ground beef on a bakery roll with Cajun seasoning, Chipotle barbecue sauce, bacon, and cheddar cheese, served with fries and coleslaw. The best part, it's priced like a touchdown score, just $7. So dine in only. Ask for it today, the Touchdown Burger at Salvo's County Grill in downtown Whitewater. As we mentioned, a joint effort here this year with the Quarterback Club and our Coaches Show. And again, thank you to everybody who's joined us here tonight, and we hope you'll be with us all season long. As our program continues right now, I'd like to welcome the new chancellor for UW-Whitewater, Bev Kopper. Bev, thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
First of all, congratulations on your appointment earlier this year, and how are things going for you so far?
Well, things are going great, and I have to tell you, it's just such a privilege to be associated with UW-Whitewater. What an amazing place, as we all know. So it's just been grand fun so far.
That is terrific. One of the things that you talked about in your State of the University address is, to paraphrase it, keeping the status quo. You wanted to try to keep staff, keep faculty, keep programs, and so on and so forth. You came in at probably one of the most challenging times that this state has ever faced, especially a public institution. You feel very confident you're going to be able to take care of them?
Absolutely. As you know, athletics has a saying, being powered by tradition. And really, UW-Whitewater is powered by a tradition of excellence in all that we do. And so we've made a commitment always, first and foremost, to maintain the high-quality student experience. That's always goal number one. And then certainly to make sure that we have a top workplace for all of our faculty and staff. And as a matter of fact, we've been named a top workplace for about 5 consecutive years now. So absolutely, we want to maintain the high quality and the excellence in all that we do.
Previously, you held the position of provost and vice chancellor of academic affairs. And how does moving up kind of through the ranks, so to speak, give you perspective for the university, for the campus, and help you make decisions in your new current role?
Well, it's I know the traditions, the rich traditions that we have here at UW-Whitewater, and I've been able to interact with so many amazing fans, the people that we have here in the QB Club. Clearly, we cannot achieve the level of excellence that we do without the support of our amazing fans. So it's just a privilege, and it's been so wonderful to know everybody and to be around everybody for the last several years, both as provost and certainly now as chancellor.
I was reading an introductory article that the Royal Purple newspaper wrote about you, and they said that you have a closet full of purple clothes, and I see you're living up to that reputation tonight. Has that always been your color, or is that the campus growing on you?
This is the campus growing on me. My husband has pointed out that there is more and more purple in my closet. That is true, but we love Purple Fridays around campus, and anytime I can be in purple or in my Warhawk purple, that's a good day.
Bev, I know that you've had a chance, matter of fact, to travel with the football team on a couple of different occasions. You've been down in Salem when we've been there for the championship game, and always one of the greatest things that I've experienced in both with football and baseball as well, where you have those special graduation ceremonies. And so you've had a chance to experience what it's like to be at that national championship situation like that.
Oh, it is. We can't describe it, right? It's just wonderful. And Salem and Roanoke, they're so, they just have embraced the team. And I have to say that the coaches and the players, they just do an amazing job. I hear all the time about just what wonderful ambassadors they are for the university, and there's no question they are, and they do an amazing job. And yes, it's just, as we all know, it's just grand fun to be at the championships, and It's a great time, and I love those commencements that we do there at Salem or on the field. It's one of the best parts of my job.
Yeah, it really is, and it's great that you're able to accommodate the athletes, because it's usually, I know for football it always comes usually on graduation day, and I know with baseball they're usually playing in a regional or something like that on that day as well.
Right, and one of the very special things about UW-Whitewater, as we all know, is there's a real sense of family that exists at the university, and so to be able to provide that experience for student athletes who are part of the Warhawk family, it's just what we do.
UW-Whitewater always has a large draw on football Saturdays at home games and a number of other events there on campus. You mentioned some of the traditions and some of the things we've gotten to know. Is there a type of environment on campus or a certain tradition that you really look forward to throughout the school year?
Well, actually, as you know, we just started classes, and we had an Are You Purple event for all of our new students coming in, and they all come into the stadium. As a matter of fact, we had a few of our football players there, many of them, and our cannon guy was there. And it's really a way to showcase the wonderful traditions and have all of our new students in Perkins Stadium. So we start out that tradition right away, and they paint the road purple, and they're part of the Warhawk family right from the beginning.
What's the projected enrollment for the school this year?
It's very strong. We had record applications this year, broke a record. And so coming in, we haven't locked down our numbers yet, but very strong. We'll have, last year we had record enrollment. We may be a tad up, a tad below, or even, but very strong. And the class coming in is one of our strongest in terms of their GPA and their ACT scores. So looking very good. The word is out about what a wonderful university we have.
Joe had mentioned this just briefly when he was up here a moment ago, that as an institution, you're always looking to maybe add some programs here and there. Sounds like he's got something that he might be able to take advantage of after his graduation from.
You bet. That's one of the things we really pride ourselves in, is really looking at what's in the best interest of our students and their success. So in the recent years, we've established an entrepreneurship major. We've established a new doctoral program, a doctorate in business administration, always looking to make sure that we have those programs that really help our students and our student athletes to be successful.
On that same note, I know in the past Whitewater's gotten some attention for the academic achievements of the student athletes, and as much as we enjoy watching the football team play on Saturdays or any of the other teams in action, they are students first. And how much pride does the university take in some of those achievements from the students in the classroom?
Yeah, we take great pride in that, and it really, we really look at giving our students also applied experience, internships, undergraduate research, other things that we know really guarantee their success wherever they go on their journey. But we take great pride in that. As a matter of fact, this past year, the Carnegie Foundation, we received a community engagement classification. It's an award that only about 360 universities across the country receive. So we're very proud of the achievements, both on and off the field, in and out of the classroom, that we have at the university.
Another thing that I think the university has done so very well, and I look at some of your predecessors as well, Dr. Telfer for sure, and Dr. Miller when he was here as well, that you not only take care of the student athletes very well, but I think Whitewater, compared to some of the other institutions in our conference, has always taken care of their coaches very well, especially the more senior coaches. They all seem to, whether they're teaching or lecturing or working over at Higher Hall, I think that's something that Whitewater has really been a leader in retaining the quality coaches in all the, not just football, but in all the sports that we have.
And that's really one of the priorities for the university, is that, again, that we really are the Warhawk family. And what that means is we want to take good care of the coaches and have a lot of respect for their work and what they do. And the level of excellence that they achieve is clearly what UW-Whitewater is all all about. So certainly any way that we can support them, and that's certainly a priority for me. In achieving at the level that they achieve at is just, it's amazing. And the coaches, again, as well as the student athletes, are wonderful ambassadors for the university. And, that we need to take care of that.
I know another thing that Whitewater does very well too is that when a student comes in, if they need help from an advisory standpoint, I think Kevin might have even done a little bit of this as well before he took over the full-time coaching job. You've got staff available to help the athletes if they need the help academically to make sure that they're still eligible and that they can manage their course loads and things like that.
Absolutely, and as we know, and we've seen from the players here this evening, they're in some tough majors, and we recognize that. And I'm always amazed at the athletes, how well they manage their time between competing and at the level that they compete at. So certainly, we do everything we can to support them because they are student athletes, and obviously we want them to be successful not only on the field, but also in the classroom. So we will bend over backwards to do whatever we can for the student athletes and all of our students.
Obviously, given the career path you've chosen and to rise all the way up to chancellor, higher education is certainly important to you. But I was curious, what attracted you to this type of work, or what about the academia environment do you enjoy most?
Well, for me, it's all about the students. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this when you can be in a profession and be associated with an amazing university that really changes students' lives. I mean, and bottom line, that's what it's all about, and that's why I went into this business, is because, and I know I'm at a university, UW-Whitewater, every day we talk about how do we provide that transformational experience for all of our students. My college years were transformational, so I think about that we need to provide that for each and every one of our students, and that's just noble work, and I love that. It's not work. It's just a joy.
And it's probably something that kind of changes every year too, because you get different types of students coming in and other things in the environment change and so on and so forth.
Absolutely, and one of the things we know, about 40% of our students are first-generation college students. Their parents have never gone to college, and when you see the difference that we make in those students' lives, it's just, it's a joy.
That is terrific. We touched on this just briefly in your introduction, that obviously it's some challenging times right now, but you had a chance, I know, a little bit to get your feet underneath you before you actually took over, so everything just wasn't dumped on you right away, but do you feel that Whitewater is in good shape right now with all the parameters that they have to deal with and so on and so forth? I know Dr. Telford told me that you can kind of set your own enrollment as you want, which you feel comfortable with. So do you feel that Whitewater's in good shape going forward here?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to say that we have had to deal with significant budget cuts, and they have, those have been difficult without question. But I'm positive about the present and the future. We have strong enrollment. We have wonderful faculty and staff, and so we're going forward. We're actually looking at growing modestly as we go forward, and so the future is bright for all of us.
That is terrific. Josh, anything else you'd like to add?
I'm all set.
All right, very good. Bev, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on our inaugural show this year. I know you'll be a frequent visitor for the home football games. And
I love football.
you got that big box to fill up too, by the way,
There
so
you
you
go.
can invite all your friends. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Bev Kopper, the new chancellor at UW-Whitewater, joining us this evening here on our coaches program with the UW-Whitewater Quarterback Club. Well, I see that we have a new year, but our timing has not changed because Kevin just got his food, as it's time for him to come back. I'm sure Lance is dealing with the same problem in Buffalo too with all his shows. But anyway, we'll come back and we'll talk to Kevin as we wrap things up here this evening, and we can finally talk about an opponent, even though it's still about 9 days away, but we can talk about an opponent that we'll be playing coming up. And we'll do that when we come back right after this on KOOL 106.5.